Hello and welcome to Vanguard Live Sports. My name is Damlola Ogushaki. Of course, compliment of the season, and of course, we're still talking about sports. Though it's still festive season, sports it does not stop at sports, as we had some very interesting matches yesterday and also on Monday, and it has really put a change to the EPL table. So let's start with that of Crystal Palace and Leicester City. Coming after a 7-0 thrashing by Liverpool and a 3-0 loss to 10-man Aston Villa. Palace were second best throughout a 45 minutes and only got to half time goalless after Vincent saved Kelechi Iheanacho's 19th minute penalty. And many people really thought that his penalty really would really that he would score the penalty, but they were really disappointed that Kelechi Iheanacho lost that penalty. But Leicester City, who made seven alterations to the team that drew with Manchester United on Saturday, registered 17 attempts but failed to test Keita from open play until Burns late goals. The visitors' only other effort on target was also from Perez, whose first half free kick was easily held by the Spanish goalkeeper. The points lift the visitors up to second in the Premier League table, while Palace were 8 points clear of the bottom three. Leicester was Brendan Rodgers said that the team showed the personality of a huge club against Manchester United, but he will be disappointed with his team's against in South East League, London. Meanwhile, Jamie Vardy, James Maddison were only named as substitutes, but the visitors created enough opportunities in the first half to establish a comfortable lead. And Iheanacho's penalty was too close, allowing the spinner to claw the ball to safety. They were second on Monday, but right now another team, of course, have snatched that opportunity to move to second on the EPL table. But before we talk about that team, let's discuss about Chelsea and Aston Villa. Chelsea and Aston Villa drew, and it was a disappointment, to Chelsea fans that were expecting Chelsea to get another 3 points, but they ended up drawing with Aston Villa, and that still put a question to Chelsea, that are they really ready to challenge the title, against Liverpool, challenge the trophy. Many people thought that they were really going to be in line with the struggling for the trophy with Liverpool, but currently Liverpool is still leading the table with 32 points, and it seems Chelsea still keeps on falling. They scored his fifth goal. Aston Villa came from behind to end a point against Chelsea in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge. Villa were trailing to an Olivier Giroud header when El Ghazi scored a second half equalizer that saw the informed visitors stretch their unbeaten run to 5 games. Dean Smith's side started brightly, but found themselves behind when Giroud marked his return to the Chelsea starting lineup with a trademark finish from Ben Chilwell's cross. Penalty was restored 5 minutes after the interval. Both sides had chance to steal victory, with Villa coming closest when John smashed, and Chelsea began the month with a 17-match unbeaten run in the competition, but had lost 3 of their previous 4 games before facing Villa, and that meant the spotlight was on the West London club going into the match. The boss, Frank Lampard, delivered on his promise to make changes from the side beating at Arsenal, and World Cup winning France forward as Giroud was one of 6 new faces in the starting line up. And Giroud has scored in each of his last 7 Premier League appearances against Villa, netting 9 goals, but Blues lacked cutting edge in attack after Villa's equalizer. And let's not forget that Chelsea spent about £200 million this summer, but Germany internationals as Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, were limited to just 18 minutes of the bench against Villa, after taking time to settle since moving to the Premier League. And Lampard, will be looking forward, looking for more from Werner and the club's signing. That's Kai Havertz. We are really yet to see them establish themselves in this season, and we hope they will be able to move. Chelsea, to where they expect them, their fans really expect them to really move to. But away from that, let's talk about Arsenal. The last won their match. It's the surprising match, against Liverpool, and of course they played against Brighton. So Brighton lost at home to Arsenal. It was a 1-0 victory. Brighton, Arsenal, it's like they're now in a different world according to Mikel Arteta. This is their second match that they've won back to back since for the first time since September. Before Christmas match of the day, Alan was among those to question whether the Gunners had what it took to retain the place in the top flight they have held since 1919. Defeat at Everton on 19th December left them only 4 points above the relegation zone after 14 games. Their worst start to the season since 1974 to 1975. But fortunes changed with a surprise 3-1 victory over Chelsea last weekend, which has now been followed by this latest success. And as talking about what Mikel Arteta had to say, it says that they still have much, they have a lot to win, but of course the best medicine is to win, and it's a different world and a different story. Of course the picture looks better at the moment, but they still need to try more, to win this game. When you're talking about leave Arsenal, a lot of people were questioning if they were going to be relegated. I think just so before their match with Chelsea, they were just 3 points below, 3 points above the relegation zone. Last weekend before they changed the game, against Chelsea, and we hope they'll be able to do better. So they climbed up to 13th and now have 20 points, while Brighton remain 2 points above the drop zone in 17. So now away from that, let's talk about West Brom versus Leeds United. And when you're talking about Leeds United has scored their first lead at 5 goals in an away game against West Brom since joining the EPL. It was a wonderful match. West Brom manager that Sam says an embarrassing the 5-0 defeat by Leeds United shows he has a tougher challenge to keep up his club up than he thought. And when you're talking about Sam, let's not forget that West Brom just sacked their former manager and employed Sam, who just became their coach, and he has yet to really win any match since joining West Brom. And of course, Sam had been encouraged by the 1-1 draw at champions Liverpool on Sunday, but saw his team outclassed by Leeds side, which was also promoted from the championship last season. The Baggies remain a second bottom and are 5 points adrift of safety. Leeds have scored 4 goals in the rampart first half displayed at the Altons, but were gifted the opening goal when midfielder remained passed into his own net from 15 yards. Meanwhile, former manager is still searching for his first win since replacing, of course, the sacked Billy. In the first game in charge, West Brom were beaten 3-0 at home by Aston Villa on the 20th December, and we hope Sam would still be able, to prove that he can, of course, allow West Brom to, of course, to move away from the relegation. So let's not forget that that's what Sam is very good for. You get good at, taking the teams that are about to be relegated out from relegation zone. And we hope West Brom will not really be relegated this season, but that depends on how they play their upcoming matches. But let's talk about Manchester United and Wolves. Manchester United, Marcus Rashford scored a late victory injury goals against Wolves, and it it was a wonderful match, but some people are considering it to be boring. But talking about Manchester United and Wolves, many people predicted that it was going to be that this match was going to be, of course, the victory, the winning team will actually come late. Considering this team, they've had a longer record of drawing, or having the other side not really winning early. Of course, United and Wolves have played countless times since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was installed as manager, and this was among the least entertaining of a poor bench. But United won't care, as they head into 2021 off the back of a crucial win. United are now 2 points behind leaders, that's Liverpool, having played the same number of games rather, which is as close as they have been to the top of the table at this stage of the season since Sir Alex retired. Talking about Marcus Rashford, it says that they are still. They're still a team that is doing a lot to work on themselves. To be looking forward to winning the match, the EPL trophy. It's still early, considering that this is just, I think, the 15th or the 16th match, and they still have a lot more to play. And you're talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It says that no title race after 15 games, but they can lose the chance of being in the race in the first 10 games, of course, but play another 15 and get to 30 maybe, then they can start talking about winning the trophy. Meanwhile, talking about Wolves, since Wolves returned to the top flight in 2018, both sides have now met 8 times in league and cup, and there have been 4 draws and 2 wins each, none of which has been by more than a single goal. So of course, people predicted that the winner of the match will come very, very late due to this their history. And some talking about some opportunities that we missed. People talked about Cavani and Edison Cavani and Martial. Also Rashford, that they wasted a lot of goals, opportunities. And let's not forget that of course there were appeals for a penalty for handball, but VAR ruled it accidental, that's by Wolves skipper corner. And of course, Manchester United right now, they are at second on the table with 30 points. That's 2 points below Liverpool, who are first on the table. And they still have a match on the 1st of January, and we hope this match they will be able to still prove more of what they can do. And talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who says that they still need to score 15 more goals for them to decide or to aim at the title. But even if they're not aiming at the title, definitely they'll be looking forward to qualifying for Champions League against for next season. And away from that, now let's talk about the corona outbreak. I know when you're talking about coronavirus outbreak, it really affected a lot of teams in this football season. Earlier this year, some matches where EPL was suspended, and many sporting activities were suspended because of the coronavirus outbreak. But it seems again Premier League's clubs are considering 2 weeks break, as Premier League has announced that 18 new positive cases among players and club staff in the latest round of testing have they've tested positive to COVID-19. And of course, when you're talking about them testing positive, they need to get treated, and also they need to self-isolate themselves. And talking about this, I think that's mostly coming from Manchester City and also Sheffield United. City's Premier League clash with Everton was postponed last night. And while the Blades Club with Burnley is going ahead with this evening, there are fears that more matches will have to be put on pause in the coming weeks. And also the Premier League can today confirm that between Monday 21st of December and Sunday 27th December, 1,479 players and the club staff were tested for COVID-19, and of those were 18 that tested positive. We hope these players, of course, will be able to self-isolate in order to prevent, the disease from spreading to other players, so that there will be no pause again, in the sporting scene. As of course, when we're talking about football, it brings excitement to the people's faces, and this is not the time for us to talk about, going, hurting in some of these sporting activities again. But let's talk about our old Nigeria NPFL. Of course, NPFL clubs are currently playing. Let's talk about Plateau United. I would like to ask you this question, and that's slashing, it seems slashing a player's salary just because they lost. Do you think it's the best thing to do? As of course, Plateau United coach kicked against the salary, of course, slash, and of course that their coach is Abdul. He told the club management that to reverse the decision to slash the players' salary after they lost to Plateau United in their Nigeria Professional Football League opener last Sunday. Plateau United, who are the defending NPFL champions, were beaten 2-0 at the Just Stadium, and it prompted, of course, a harsh reaction from the management team. I mean, slashing their salary. Do you think it's the best decision? I mean, there are many other ways, to wake up players instead of slashing their salaries. And let's not forget that these players just came back, and they had a long break where people were even talking that some of the players were not really feeding well during the pandemic, though we had some money being paid to their account. But was that enough? And let's talk slashing their salary now. Is it the right decision? Do you think they'll be able to do better now that their salaries have been slashed? Of course, we've seen some other teams like the EPL, some EPL teams that when they go for their first match, of course they lose their first match, but coming up they keep doing better. And let's not forget about Liverpool, who are still currently defending their title right now. Of course, they've lost a match, and they've drawn, and some of the expectations of the matches have not really been, some of the matches rather, they have not really been what people have expected. They've performed below expectations, so let's not expect anything less from Plateau United. So that's what their coach is saying, but I would like to get your opinion in the comment section. And that takes me to Syria striker, French outfit striker, and Nigerian Football Federation striker, that's Victor Osimhen's birthday is 22nd birthday. I mean, many people wished him happy birthday, and that includes his 3 sides that wished him a happy 22nd birthday. I mean, the fleet-footed goal machine rose to prominence while featuring for Nigeria under-17 at the 2015 FIFA under-17 World Cup. Osimhen made the senior debut for Nigeria on June 1, 2017 as Kenya's men silenced Togo 3-0 in a friendly encounter. I mean, he has really been celebrated by almost, of course, a lot of people. Of course, he's a goal machine, and it deserves, the accolades from his of course, from other players and from this other team. And also, we are wishing him a happy 22nd birthday. And that's all we have for you here today on sport. Of course, we still have more matches that will be played today, so you can always keep in touch with us. You can always visit our website to get more of this information, and that's www.vanguardngr.com. and also follow us on our social media platforms that are showing on your screen. Don't forget to stay safe and also enjoy your day. It's bye from me, Damdala Obushakin from Vanguard Live Sports.